Today I'm making stuffing, and what you'll need are some type of dried breadcrumbs, a can to 2 cans of chicken broth, part of an onion, a little salt and pepper, a couple of eggs, and some celery. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a can of my chicken broth in a Dutch oven, and I'm going to slice up the onion, chop it up, and chop up some 2 stalks of celery, and I'm going to let those cook until the onion and the celery are tender. I'm actually not going to bake this stuffing till tomorrow, but I'm going to make it ahead of time and put it in an airtight container and put it in my refrigerator, which you can do that. You can make it 2 to 3 days ahead of time and it'll be fine. Some people even will make it and not cook it, and they'll pop it in their freezer and then pull it out and thaw it out completely and then bake it when they're ready to use it. So let's get those onions chopped. I'm only going to make a small, maybe a 2-quart casserole dish of stuffing. I don't need a whole lot. So I'll probably use about a half of a medium-sized onion. Those chopped up. There we go. That's fine. A little tip on your celery is when you bring your celery home, you can take it out of the plastic bag that it comes in, wrap it completely in aluminum foil, and it'll stay in your refrigerator a lot longer. It'll last up to 2-3 weeks. Now let's get those washed and chopped up. In my chicken broth, I've got half an onion, 2 stalks of celery chopped, and to that I'm going to add probably a little over a tablespoon of chicken base, because I just want a lot of chicken flavor. And I'm going to throw in 1/4 of a teaspoon of poultry seasoning. Now I'm going to get this on the oven, and I'm going to keep an eye on it. And if you want, you can throw in a boneless, skinless chicken breast, you know, and just shred it up to put in your dressing if you like. While my onions and my celery are cooking, I'm going to go ahead and put my breadcrumbs in a big bowl. These are some breadcrumbs that I just toasted at home. If you got some bread that's starting to go old, and pop it in the oven at 250 for about an hour, flip it over once, and then break it apart, and you got your own homemade croutons, or in this instance, breadcrumbs. Okay. So to this bowl, I've probably got 5 cups of breadcrumbs, and I'm going to add a can of chicken broth to it and 2 eggs. And I'm going to let that soak. There we go. Ooh. Okay, so I'm only going to add half this can for right now, because I want to wait until after I get my broth that I've got over here on the stove with the onions and celery in it, because I don't want to have too much. I want it good and moist. That's the key to good stuffing, is to have plenty of moisture. Now I'm going to add the 2 eggs. Crack those open. And I would say you'll want to add teaspoon and a half of salt, probably a couple of teaspoons of pepper. There we go. Give it nice flavor, because you are flavoring up breadcrumbs, something that really has no flavor to it. There we go. Well, let's just let that set. Okay, I've cooked my onions and celery for about 15-20 minutes, and they're tender. So now I'm going to add this, the chicken broth and all that, to my breadcrumbs. Oh, it smells good. I found a container that has a lid with it that I can put it in my refrigerator in overnight so I can bake it tomorrow. And I'm going to add about 1/4 of a teaspoon of sage. I don't like sage, but I like just a little bit in my dressing. So if you like sage, add more. Okay. Now, we've got our eggs in there, we've got our salt and our pepper, and our broth. So now we just need to mix it up. And I'm going to use the rest of this can. When I get ready to bake this, I'll bake it at 350, and I'll start it out uncovered. If I think it's getting too done, then I would cover it. And I'm probably going to bake it an hour to an hour and a half, because you want the moisture baked up out of there. Oop, threw that piece out. This will be really, really good. Mix that all up. I want my dressing just a little more moist than what I actually had chicken broth. So I've taken a cup of water and added a tablespoon of chicken base to it to give myself some more chicken stock. Yeah, that smells good. Okay, so I'm going to slowly add this. Remember, you can always add too, but if you just dump it in there and think, oh, I got too much, you can't take it out, but you can always add. So add it a little at a time, stir it and mix it. That'll be good. That looks good. Now, I'm going to put it in my airtight container and put it in the refrigerator, and I'll take it out and I'll let it set for about 10 or 15 minutes, and then I'll put it in my baking dish tomorrow. Alright, this is my stuffing, and I've had it in the oven for about an hour and a half, and the last 10 minutes or so I covered it with aluminum foil because I didn't want it getting too done. It smells delicious. I think you'll really enjoy it. You can find this recipe and others at www.carolseasycooking.com.